Hi, everyone. It's Pleasance. And today I want to share a little story with you. A few years ago, in 2007, I was spending my time professionally working as the director of curriculum and development at the Septima Clark Public Charter School. It was a school that I had been on the founding board of. It was the first all-boys public charter school in Washington, D.C. And I felt very passionate about boys' education and specifically about boys' education in Ward 7 and 8 in Washington, D.C., and addressing the inequities and difficulties and challenges that I was seeing in DC public schools. In the spring of 2007, we had this beautiful field trip to the zoo. And later that day, when we got back, I had to leave with my friend Rita to go pick up some paperwork from downtown for our special education students and program and profiles. And while we were there downtown, we started getting phone calls that there had been a shooting at our school, and one of our staff members was killed at the front door. This was a random act of violence from one person, one male in the neighborhood to another, that happened at our school with our staff member. And pretty shortly after this tragedy, I basically fell apart and left education and left boys' education and left my role, partly due to some challenges that occurred after in terms of security and really being present for staff and students and families through this tragedy, and through just some differences in terms of leadership styles. And honestly, it was a really difficult moment on so many levels: race, violence, gun violence, schools, protection, racial tension in the neighborhood, so many issues, so many things intersecting. And now we're at this time where these conversations are elevated and at the forefront. And I have decided on June 5th to go to Denver. It is a Black and Brown led movement, and it is to shut down the city of Denver and say enough, to work with the legislation and buy back the guns. And this is a step in, I don't know what else to do. Like, nothing else seems to work. And it is time to put I'm speaking for myself, put my body, put my life, put my actions, put my words, put my money, and go to Denver and be in solidarity with this movement. It is expensive. There's money involved, and I am asking you, if you have $10, $20, $100 to support this, because it is a tremendous cost to do this work. And if you are not able to go but want to donate proceeds from these creative, I'm creating a bunch of things to help fund my trip to go, and also to donate so that other folks can go. So proceeds from Ayurveda for Activists, proceeds from the chakra balancing movement class, and these things I'm creating will be going towards this movement as it's unfolding and as it needs more funds. And I want to actively be there on the ground and be able to financially support other folks being there on the ground. So any contribution that you are able to make, this cause of gun violence and school shootings is personal, okay? And it affects all of us. And the way in which race and privilege and power are also weaving right in. Again, I just want to reiterate, like, the fact that we have a movement that's being created and led by Black and brown activists right now, that just feels like this is the time, this is the movement. All I keep thinking is I want to be on the right side of history by sharing this movement. And I think about a lot, like, what would I do in times of crisis? And this is a time of crisis. This is a time where we need to come together, voice, speak, also move, also be in community. And so I wanted to make this video to, number one, share about the movement, and there's a link. Number two, ask for donations directly to them, and or if you donate by supporting some of these things I'm creating, part of the proceeds are going to fund this movement, and travel and all the expenses that are for being part of the movement. And also to share a bit about why this is so personal. And for those who didn't know about this shooting, about this tragedy, about my own story with the school, and who didn't know that history or that part of my history, I wanted to share it. It feels important and relevant. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for donating. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your presence and support.